Mr. Sharma is a doyen in the tourism industry.
A very rare good human being who is a good friend.
And in the first meeting itself, he's a very, very warm person. He makes friends with just in a jiffy.
Dad was so supportive of anything and everything one wanted to do. It was always do what you want to do what pleases you.
When I joined the travel business, the family business, he really allowed me to make my mistakes.
He had the amazing capacity of looking into minute details as well as looking at the large picture.
Seeing the principled approach and his well-informed approach was an education in itself.
From humble beginnings, when he joined Mercury Travels in 1953 as a transfer assistant, Mr. Inder Sharma covered a long and momentous journey, full of challenges and rewards.
I needed a job, and any job would have done me. But the first job I got was to work for Mercury Travels at a very junior level as a transfer assistant.
He was very intelligent and understood the business. He was a great assistance, and I was sorry when he left.
It was perhaps these qualities that prompted Mr. Jack Dengler, the president of Sita USA, to select young Inder Sharma to set up the first Sita office in Delhi.
We were just myself, a secretary, an assistant, and a peon. I'm a sentimental man, and I'm still using the same Godrej table that I purchased in 1953.
That table connects generations of the Sharma family, a proud reminder of the legacy and values Mr. Inder Sharma stood for.
This desk represents everything he stood for: his traditions, his culture, his values, and his ability to look at the big picture, his ability to carry a huge team, his ability to be grounded, and his ability to be the finest human being father could be.
In the years that followed, his business acumen and initiative helped Mr. Inder Sharma establish offices in India and abroad. In 1965, he became the owner of Sita India.
Nowhere did I ever imagine, not even dreamt, that one day I would own one of India's largest travel company.
The way Sita Travels grew by leaps and bounds, it really took the industry by storm.
I was always impressed with Inder, and I took some advantage of him to get his advice on various matters concerning tourism.
These were busy years in the life of Mr. Sharma, and he sometimes did not have as much time as he would have liked with his children.
Well, we barely saw our father in our growing years. I think for the first few years, I would look at a plane and refer to that as Daddy.
I would associate him with, somebody who was fat or who was always traveling.
There used to be one dhaba downstairs below Wildflower Hall, and he and I would walk hand in hand to drink chai in the morning and pakoras in the morning.
I couldn't eat my food without yogurt. And Wildflower Hall, for the love of it, for all those years, could never produce yogurt which was not sour. He would make sure that yogurt came from me from Simla, come hell or storm, because he knew his little girl wouldn't eat her khana without it.
One of my big hobbies growing up was to collect airline stickers that you used to get in the old days when you would check in. And once I started collecting that, I used to request Dad, can you fly this airline or another airline? And there were airlines that were all over the world. And he actually would specially fly some of those airlines to make sure that I would get those stickers.
Managing his personal and public lives like only he could, Mr. Sharma oversaw the golden years when Sita became India's largest travel conglomerate, a well-known company at home and in the world.
I wanted people to recognize Sita as a company, and I was ambitious. and I was very lucky to have excellent colleagues working for me. I was just the leader who got the credit.
Mr. Inder Sharma won many awards over the years and many citations.
The first person in the tourism industry who was awarded a Padma Shri.
But I think the most important, most valuable award that I won was when the PhD Chamber of Commerce gave Sita the award of Business is Ethics.
Though it was in business that Mr. Inder Sharma made his mark, he was known among his friends and family for his loyalty, fortitude, and a sense of humor.
We used to have college annual function, and we had our principal by the name of A. Bhattacharya. Mr. Bhattacharya had a habit of walking with the head down as if he was looking for something which he had lost. So Inder called him to the stage and said, "Sir, you have always been trying to look for something. I think you have lost something." And then he pulled out an old dhela from his pocket and gave it to him. He said, "Sir, I think this is what you have lost." This was Inder that I remember.
You could call me literally a practical joker sometimes, but I pulled these pranks many a times on few friends.
Then came a time for Mr. Inder Sharma to move on to newer challenges. He read the signs of the times and in the year 2000 handed over the reins of his company to worthy partners.
I was conscious of the fact that the technology was changing. Also, it is sensible to quit the stage when the applause is the loudest. Don't wait for the cat calls.
It was a very emotional decision. So I do recall when the final signatures were done, I think all three of us, Neeraj, Dad and me, we got together and we hugged each other. And I think all three of us cried because Sita was a very integral part of our lives.
Bigger challenges were to follow. New beginnings were made. Under Mr. Sharma's watchful eye, the family invested in designing unique hotel experiences and creating India's #1 shopping destination, Select City Walk. These were new milestones in a life full of achievement. During all this time, Mr. Sharma always harbored a deep love for the nation he was born into and admiration for his dear Guruji.
Dad was hardcore patriotic. He loved his country. For him, Kargil became a very epitome of what we could do. And he made sure that we celebrated Kargil. When we were looking at this huge slum area opposite Select City Walk, we discovered this place was called Jamunwala Bagh. And he used to get very disturbed. He often told me that, "Son, we need to do something with this project." So we worked very closely with all the government agencies. He supported us. He himself was involved hugely. He even involved the Honorable Lieutenant Governor. In a short period of 3 to 4 months, we could get this park going. Ironically, this was his last public function. Guruji, what can I say? I think Guruji gave him his life. Guruji gave him all his blessings, gave him his health, gave him his peace of mind. And I think Guruji became a very strong anchor in our parents' lives, especially my father.
Having lived an ethical, successful and content life, Mr. Sharma would reminisce fondly of a life lived king-size.
As far as my business life is concerned, I am very satisfied. I'm equally happy with my family life, and what more one can ask in life.
Mr. Sharma's positivity about his own life echoes in the lives of many people he touched.
He has been rightly feted and celebrated. He has had a distinguished life, a life of commitment and a life anchored in values.
Well, other than thank you, what can I say? Today I am what I am only because they have both been with me. as friends, as supports, as guides.
When I was growing up, I got a lot of inspiration from you. You have meant a lot to me, and I've learnt a lot from you.
He is very nice. Whenever I hug my daddy, he always says Dadu J, and he used to do this.
He used to do really funny things like carry me on his back during conferences, stick his tongue out to embarrass me every time he met me. He used to bring funny cakes to my birthday, and even crash some of my birthday parties wearing a Scottish bandmaster costume and once dressed as a chef. I remember one thing he used to always say to me, the more successful you get, the more humble you should be.
Dad, you're the best. You know, there's something about you which I can't put my finger to, but it's just about everything that you are and you've meant to me. You've been my source of strength, you've been my source of inspiration. I just love you.
Mr. Sharma was always moving forward, making friends, touching lives. Of him it could be said, without a doubt, that he lived his life with all doors open.